Episode 534. What could it be? Yishu wondered to himself as he sent the message. Naturally, his first move was to contact Blue River, the 10th server guild leader of Blue Brook, who he considered a pretty good acquaintance.
So, how about that? Pretty impressive, right?
Yishu's opening line.
What?
Blue River asked.
The record! The new record! Didn't you see it?
Oh, I saw it, but it was exactly what I expected.
Blue River's reply was perfectly even.
So, what's your plan?
Blue River knew exactly what Yishu was referring to, but being asked so bluntly left him speechless, so he once again resorted to his signature ellipsis maneuver.
You should log into your Juicy account and come back to visit sometime. A lot of people in the guild miss you. They're always asking about you. See, I can't just tell them that Juicy is Blue River and have them come see me. After all, you're the spy.
Blue River swallowed again. What kind of logic is this? It's just too bizarre. A boss who's this considerate of the mole in his own ranks. It's just bizarre. Blue River couldn't find the right words to describe what he was feeling.
Let's leave it at that for now. Everyone's almost out of Thousand Wave Lake. Are you setting something up in the next leveling zone? Honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yishu's final message even included a happy emoji, a little face expressing anticipation. Blue River felt a chill run down his spine. They'd had so-called arrangements like this countless times before, and every single one ended with Yishu walking away having taken all the advantage. From that perspective, Yishu had every reason to look forward to their so-called arrangements.
Well, it looks like you might be disappointed this time.
Blue River replied. Yishu was taken aback by this reply. Did this mean the guilds really weren't going to make a move at all? Giving up on Thousand Wave Lake is one thing. The gap in naval combat power was just too obvious, leaving the guilds with no real options. But from level 44 to 46, they were back on dry land. There was no reason for the major guilds to suddenly become so well behaved. Yishu couldn't figure it out for the moment, but he could only take things one step at a time. 2 days after setting the Thousand Wave Lake dungeon record, the very team that had achieved it had all reached level 44, ready to take on a new record challenge. The other guild's top players had, of course, already left Thousand Wave Lake long before. However, the Battle of Thousand Wave Lake, with its deaths, created a disparity in experience among characters who had previously been on roughly equal footing. The guild's leveling rates, once perfectly synchronized, were now a complete mess. However, even though they had a head start, by the time Yishu and his team charged over, the guild characters had already all gathered here. Once midnight passed, the focus would shift to the new dungeon. This time, Yishu naturally didn't bother with the dungeon guide business. With him in the competition, those guides were no longer a guarantee for records, so who would bother buying them? The dungeon guides had been reduced to practice problems for concealed light to maintain his research skills.
Everyone, stay sharp.
As midnight approached, Yishu had already gathered his team. He reminded the others as they set off for the new leveling area and the new dungeon. The vast level gap meant this new leveling zone remained the exclusive domain of their 99 characters. The only difference was that their absolute advantage in aquatic combat was gone here. If the enemy really threw their full force at the 5 of them, it wouldn't be an easy fight to handle. Yishu was well aware of this, so from the moment he reached this level, he became extremely cautious wherever he went in the game. The leveling zone for levels 44 to 46, the Gloomy Forest, lived up to its name, dark and quiet. Aside from the monsters lurking within, Yishu saw no threat from other players. The calmer it was, the more grim Yishu's expression became. Seeing Yishu's rare look of seriousness, Chenguo couldn't help but ask,
So, what happened?
Nothing much. But that's exactly why it feels strange.
Everyone's scared now, huh?
Fear is one thing, but in the competition between club guilds, you have to face it anyway. You have to find a way forward, regardless. It's like when a weak team meets a strong one in the Pro League. The weak team can't just forfeit, can they? They still have to find a way to fight for victory, right?
But this isn't a regulated arena. This is just an online game.
An online game.
Yi Shu had just uttered the words online game, but his character was already leading the other four to the entrance of the dungeon in the dark forest.
So?
The other four were all waiting for Yi Shu's instruction.
Let's run the dungeon.
With nothing else happening, Ye Shu had no choice but to proceed with the normal plan. For the level 44 to 46 Dark Forest dungeon, even though Yi Shu was no longer in the business of selling dungeon strategies, his own team still aimed for the record, so they had naturally done their homework on how to tackle it well in advance. This time, with the team being new, it wasn't as relaxed as a fully coordinated group. Every detail of how to fight, how to kill, how to battle, and how to coordinate was explained from start to finish. The first day didn't yield much. Everyone kept forgetting parts of Yi Shu's strategy, missing details left and right. 3 dungeon runs a day really isn't enough. Similarly, the other guild teams hadn't managed to set a record yet either. The dungeon record for the Shadow Forest remained in the system's hands for now, with only Tyrannical Ambitions team having secured the first clear. The next day was a repeat of the previous one, with one key difference. Their strategy was built on the control field created by Yi Shu and Su Mu Cheng's coordination. Su Mu Cheng never needed to be told anything twice, and the two of them required 0 adjustment time. With that solid foundation in place, with the other 3 having such simple roles, Ye Shu's team ended up being the fastest to gel while practicing their strategy. On their 3rd dungeon run of the 2nd day, the 5 characters finally made the system broadcast. They had shattered the official dungeon record. The World Channel was of course flooded with admiration and awe for Lord Grimm. The topic of Lord Grimm being the #1 player in Server 10 was now beyond any dispute. Yet the major guilds, who had previously fought tooth and nail over those dungeon records, were now deathly quiet. On the 3rd day, he broke his own record again, setting 2 new records in 3 dungeon runs. The top 3 spots on the leaderboard were now all claimed by the Happy Guild. The 4th day saw 2 more records fall, putting 5 happy names on the board. The 5th day, the 6th day, Yi Shu was deliberately controlling the pace, constantly breaking his own records. The leaderboard for the Gloomy Forest dungeon was now a uniform display, the same guild name, the same character name, from 1st place all the way down to 10th, a spectacle of unparalleled brilliance. Yet, in the face of Happy Guild's overwhelming dominance, the other major guilds remained quiet to an equally unparalleled degree.